All right, let's dive right into this explainer where we're going to uncover exactly how to turn a gaming hobby into a highly lucrative side hustle by basically reverse engineering a YouTube empire. We talk a lot about financial freedom and finding real ways to make money online, but taking that first step can feel pretty daunting, right? Well, today we are pulling back the curtain on the meticulously engineered framework behind top-tier gaming content. As you'll see, these creators aren't just playing games for fun, they are running highly optimized digital businesses.
I mean, just look at this massive number, 4.62 million. That represents the subscriber base of the gaming channel CarryDP. Honestly, this single number proves the absolute financial viability of this kind of digital enterprise. When you have an audience this large, you're holding on to prime digital real estate. It's not just some vanity metric to brag about to your friends, it's the literal foundation of a revenue-generating powerhouse that can totally out-earn traditional brick-and-mortar businesses.
So here is our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with the ultimate gaming side hustle, move into mastering the YouTube algorithm, break down the anatomy of a perfect intro, look at staged action versus reality, dissect the Carry2Pay formula, and finally cover scaling your content income.
Okay, Section 1, the ultimate gaming side hustle. We're looking at validating the earning potential of digital real estate.
And honestly, the consistency here is just wild. We aren't talking about one lucky viral hit. We're looking at a highly engineered, repeatable system generating basically 5 million views per upload. In the world of making money online, consistency is literally everything. You're not relying on luck. If you can predictably drive 4 to 5 million eyeballs to a piece of content, you have just unlocked a massive, reliable stream of ad revenue, sponsorships, and huge brand deals.
So how is this actually done? That brings us to Section 2, mastering the YouTube algorithm. The hidden mechanics of online monetization. The absolute holy grail here is average view duration, or AVD. YouTube strategy expert Adrian points out that a flat AVD graph basically tells the algorithm your content is highly entertaining. And if people stay, the algorithm pushes your video to millions more, which directly translates to a much higher financial yield. AVD isn't just some nerdy background stat, it is the primary currency of your digital side hustle. For sure, attention literally equals cash.
To get that AVD, you need a killer start. Section 3, Anatomy of a Perfect Intro. It's all about hooking the viewer in those crucial first 30 seconds. Adrian's gives us the super strict, high-converting playbook. Step 1, throw the viewer right into the fire with a cinematic action hook instead of a boring, slow intro. Then, quickly give them context for the challenge so they aren't totally lost, back it up immediately with heavy visual proof, and finally, establish a clear, grand finale. When you treat your content as a real business, you realize those first 30 seconds literally dictate whether you get paid for that viewer or not. But the absolute golden rule? Visual proof. You gotta show, not just tell. If you're promising a wild scenario, like, being stranded on a floating skyblock, you can't just sit there talking to the camera about it. You must show the wow factor immediately. Because if the viewer doesn't see what they clicked for right away, they're gone. Your AVD tanks, the algorithm drops you, and your side hustle loses all its financial momentum. No way around it.
So how do you guarantee that action? Section 4, Staged Action versus Reality. This is where we get into engineered entertainment for maximum retention.
Look, natural gameplay is totally authentic, sure, but it yields really inconsistent algorithmic results. Planned or staged gameplay, on the other hand, lets you artificially manufacture high stakes. Adrian uses this crazy example of spawning directly into a dangerous cave as a tiny axolotl. Sounds ridiculous, right? But you're setting the parameters to guarantee action. You aren't leaving your digital income to chance. You're intentionally structuring the product for maximum consumer satisfaction. Let's see this in action. Section 5, the Carry2Pay formula, extreme stakes and artificial narratives in practice.
Check out this hook. I fooled all villagers with 1 million hearts. Titles like this are the perfect example of artificial, high-stakes narratives. I mean, getting 1 million health hearts in normal Minecraft is basically impossible. But by modding the game and staging the scenario, Carry2Pay creates a premise that completely hacks the viewer's curiosity. It's a totally engineered spectacle designed specifically to grab attention and drive revenue.
And to back up those crazy titles, Carry2Pay goes way beyond the base game. He introduces these incredibly overpowered, custom-modded items. We're talking crafting unbreakable weapons out of solid bedrock, launching actual meteors, and conquering villages to collect things like the Poison Crown and the Snow Crown. These mods guarantee that essential visual wow factor, keeping the content super dense and highly appealing to the algorithm. It's not just the items, though. It's the absolutely bizarre storytelling. In one transcript, When threatened by a poison pool, his character literally claims he can only be killed by the poison of a three-headed snake, who also happens to be his uncle. It's absurd, soap opera-level drama, but guess what? It keeps the audience totally glued to the screen. It's hilarious, unpredictable, and artificially pumps up that all-important AVD we've been talking about. All right, final piece of the puzzle. Section 6, Scaling Your Content Income. We're talking advanced editing and community farming tactics.
The edit is where the profit is actually realized. Adrian's notes you need a really strategic mix. We're talking fast, 2 to 3 second cuts to build immense tension. But, and this is crucial, you've got to follow that up with intentional breathing room during the big reveals, so viewers don't get totally fatigued and click away. Then, you tie the whole shebang together with intense, high-tempo chase music and audio risers to subconsciously steer the viewer's emotions.
But beyond the video itself, to truly reach financial freedom with this, you've got to farm community engagement. Take the Mr. Durbin channel, for example. They literally demand likes, shares, and comments from their dedicated Keela army in exchange for a highly anticipated Carrie Diffie face reveal. By holding narrative payoffs hostage for engagement, creators trigger huge FOMO, fear of missing out. This turns passive viewers into active promoters, creating a compounding effect on your revenue.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to think about the mechanics we just uncovered. This isn't just about a video game, it's literally a masterclass in consumer psychology and digital marketing. Ask yourself, how can you use these exact principles of manufactured stakes, visual proof, and algorithmic pacing to turn your own passion into a financial powerhouse? The blueprint is right here in front of us, you just have to start building.